Andre Ward loves him some Terence Crawford, all the way to the point where he says that he is the face of boxing, along with Gervonta Davis and Canelo Alvarez. This on the podcast, All the Smoke Fight. Man, people really get caught up in buzzwords. And obviously now, recently, the face of boxing is the new buzzword. But some of the things that Andre Ward said, I don't believe that he believes, nor do I believe, nor should you believe. Let's talk about that in this video. Who is the face of boxing? What is the face of boxing? It doesn't matter. Just recently, Andre Ward was in a conversation, I do believe it was with Andre Berto, about who the face of boxing is. And in this conversation, he said, if I am correct, that there is 3 faces of boxing: Canelo Alvarez, Gervonta Davis, and you got to put Terence Crawford in there as the face of boxing. I disagree strongly. First, what is the face of boxing? It's very obvious. It's the face of the sport. It's the person that is out there that you look at and you think of when you think of boxing. I have long said that I do not believe that any living fighter really is the face of boxing right now, other than the person that really is most closely associated with boxing in people's minds is either 1 or 2 people, maybe 3 people. Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and Iron Mike Tyson. Those are the 3 guys that really stand out when you ask just the normal person, okay, so who do you think about when you think of boxing? More than likely, you're going to hear one of those 3 names first. Which you're not, but let's just assume that there is a face of boxing right now. Who would it be? Terence Crawford. Well, first of all, let's say that, talk about the fact that if there is a face, how many faces are there? There's only 1 face. It's got to come up with 1 face. There's not 3 faces of boxing. Now, people may disagree about who it is, but 3, I think that's a bit of a cop-out so that you can get Terence Crawford's name on the list. I mean, that's honestly what I think, because you really can't deny that it's, if there is one, if you can find one, it's going to be Canelo Alvarez or Gervonta Davis. To be honest with you, I would suspect that it's still, if you just look at raw numbers, that it's still Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo Alvarez has been around a lot longer than Gervonta Davis. And he's been in more big fights than Gervonta Davis. So it just makes sense that his name recognition would be bigger than Gervonta Davis's. He also does very, very big numbers. Now, after that, and somebody that is really coming into his own and really reaching his peak of popularity is Gervonta Davis. So Gervonta Davis said that he was the face of boxing. People argue about it back and forth. But hey, man, there are people in American boxing that believe that that's the case, that they don't pay attention to what Canelo Alvarez is doing. Because to many people, Canelo Alvarez has been, a string of disappointments for the last several years. I don't want to go into them, but you know what I mean. Between tests going the wrong way, fights not getting made, things being said that people were not appreciative of, right? Fights not being made, obviously, like David Benavidez earlier on when it was a hot fight, Jamal Charlo, all of that stuff, right? However, more than likely, you have to give it to him if you have to give it to somebody. Now, one thing that that Canelo Alvarez and Gervonta Davis have in common, though, that the other people who claim that they're the face of boxing have going on. And let me be clear, there's been several people who have claimed that they are the face of boxing. At my last count, there were Canelo, Gervonta, Devin Haney. I think Andre Ward threw Bud in there. I don't think I've ever heard Bud say that, but let's throw Bud in there. Turkey Al-Sheikh. Just within the last year, 5 people have claimed that they are the face of boxing and had people seriously argue for them. But look, man, 3 of those dudes can't be on that list because how can you be the face of boxing if you're losing money? I guess it's possible, but people would have to be thinking of, well, boxing's going out of business. Who do you think is to blame? Well, the people that are losing money in fights. That's how usually it is when you go into business and you say, why is this business going down? Why is it going out of business? Well, there's certain, you look at the parts that are underperforming. Right? Either, your costs are too high in certain areas, so you got to get rid of people. Like, hey, it costs too much, man. We're losing money. Or your product's not good, so you got to get better, whatever the case is, right? But at the end of the day, you are just got to be responsible for what you put out there. And if you're losing money, you're not putting profit out there. How can you be the face of boxing in a good way? So maybe what they mean by multiple faces of boxing, he's assigning different type of things with faces. Okay, who's the face of losing money? Well, that right there would definitely be Turkey Al-Sheikh and Terence Crawford. There's a strong argument for them. Who's the face of boxing as far as the skill set and who's the best fighter in boxing? Terence Crawford is a good argument there. Who is, as far as ticket sales and gates, Canelo Alvarez, excitement, Gervonta Davis, whatever, man. But at the end of the day, nah, I ain't buying it. Is the way that I look at it, face of boxing is one person, and it is somebody that is, when somebody thinks of the sport, that's who they think of. And honestly, there's only really 2 people in the mix, and that's Canelo and Gervonta Davis. And quite honestly, within my demographic, it's clearly Gervonta Davis. But if you speak Spanish and you're Mexican, it may jump immediately to Canelo Alvarez. Inevitably, somebody's going to say that there's another face of boxing, and that is going to be Monster Inoue in Japan. And maybe he is the face, and I do think Monster Inoue is the face of Japanese boxing, right? But Terence Crawford, nah, he ain't part of the crew. Not on this one. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.